Hey everybody, welcome back to Tim Travels. It's Terry, your host. So it's been a little bit since I did a video. Lots has been going on. I have a trainee on my truck who I'll introduce you to in a couple of minutes. A lot of big happenings, big day in college football yesterday. My Hawkeyes beat Penn State, but the number one team, Alabama, was upset by an unranked team. I mean, I don't know if Texas A&M should have been unranked, but whatever. So yeah, that was a big upset. The Red River showdown between Texas and Oklahoma was epic. And Michigan had a big comeback, albeit against Nebraska. So anyway, gonna do a couple of things. So I'm in Amarillo, and we're on our way out to Cali. We just came through Oklahoma, so I wanted to mention Oklahoma for just a minute because I never really have, I don't think. So obviously, the Sooners won yesterday. And I wanted to, there's a lot of famous people from Oklahoma. Garth Brooks is from Oklahoma. I think Troy Aikman lived in Henrietta for a while. Carrie Underwood. I mean, the list is pretty huge. I think Brad Pitt's from Oklahoma originally. Lots of famous people. But I'm going to focus on one person. So Commander Ernest Evans was the commanding officer of the USS Johnston, which was a ship, a small boy, a destroyer escort in the Battle of Leyte Gulf. And he is a Medal of Honor recipient. He's from Pawnee, Oklahoma. And I'm not going to go into all the heroics of all the sailors on those small boys during that battle, but a bunch of very small Navy ships, destroyers, destroyer escorts, took on large force of Japanese cruisers, battle cruisers, and to prevent some escort carriers from being attacked. And this happened in 1944. And there's a great book about Evans and all these sailors called "The Last Stand of the Tin Can Sailors," and here's a picture of that book. So that's a little bit about somebody from Oklahoma that's I know about and is kind of inspirational. The other thing I wanted to talk about is we're passing through the panhandle of Texas here. We're going to be over in New Mexico shortly, but I wanted to talk. I've said this before. I like New Mexico, but one of my favorite things about New Mexico is their license plates. And so I had taken some pictures of license plates in New Mexico, but I didn't put it on my video when I talked about New Mexico last time. So I'm just going to show these, but I mean, if there's another state that's got a set of basic license plates, and these are the three that are available in New Mexico, that the better set of basic license plates, I'd like to know about it because I just think they're great. They got the Land of Enchantment one, which is the little sun, the little like Zuni design, I think, is the tribe. And then they got the chili peppers for Hatch Chilies. By the way, Hatch is kind of cool town if you ever get to go through there. And then they have the turquoise one, which is turquoise is a big kind of gem that you find in New Mexico, and there's often advertisements and stuff for it. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. So the other thing I wanted to do is do an interview with my new trainee. So let's get into that. Okay, so we're back. I want to introduce you to Connie. Connie is my TNT co-driver, and I thought we'd do a little interview and learn a bit about her, but also about her thoughts on training. So you have a CDL. You had a CDL before you came to Prime.
Correct.
And you drove what kind of vehicles?
I drove a school bus, and then before that I drove a ready-mix truck.
A ready-mix truck.
Yeah.
So concrete. That sounds hard. So you came to Prime. Why'd you pick Prime?
Mostly for the diamond program, because they...
Oh, the Highway Diamonds?
The Highway
Okay,
Diamonds.
cool.
I seen that they were, an advocate for women, and I wanted that. I wanted a company that wanted to support me and see that I did well.
Now, you also have some truck drivers in your family, right?
Yes, my mother.
Mom's
mom
a
and
truck
my dad.
Mom and dad.
Yeah. Dad retired from it, and then Mom decided to keep trucking. She did it for 15 years.
Okay.
And then she bought her own truck, and...
So this is like in your blood, and...
Yes, I was... I have to play that message for you. I was 3 years old when I learned how to drive.
Okay. 3 years old.
3 years old. Mom had to set out square bales of hay and the 52 Chevy that we had, and she goes, gas, brake, gas is go, brake is stop, and then she goes, the only thing, don't throw me off.
Okay.
And that's where I started.
All right, cool. So you came to Prime. You went through PSD. How was that?
Very quick. I wish it was longer. I wish I would have stayed for all the classes. I wish I could have stayed for the map class and just no more.
But you got past your CDLA pretty quickly, right?
Yes, I think 3 days after I got the pad experience, I was done.
And you passed the whole thing the first time. You
Yes.
trifected. Okay.
Yeah.
So.
And that was because that's what I was shooting for that.
So
That extra money's nice.
Yeah. So you had some mad skills though. Like that's pretty quick.
My trainer helped. I mean, Sean was a good trainer to get me focused, and when I wigged out, he got me calmed down and to think before I act.
Okay. So you've been on this truck. You had another TNT trainer, but you came on my truck like a week ago.
Yep.
Last Monday, actually.
Yep.
I picked you. I picked you up in Springfield. What are your thoughts so far?
It's a 180 from what I had.
Okay. That's okay. So
It's
complete turnaround.
Complete turnaround. You provide information. You instruct. You criticize me when I need to be criticized. You correct me when I need to be corrected, and you offer information and you show me what you're doing.
Okay. I mean, I don't have any cash on me right now, but I'll give you some. I'll give you a couple 20s later for that nice endorsement. So okay, so I appreciate you saying that, but what do you like most about being on this truck? I mean, other than the stuff you said.
You haven't told me not to drink, so we don't have to stop.
So I'll stop for restrooms. Okay.
Old bladder has to go often.
And okay.
It's more relaxed. It's just the vibe's different.
Okay.
Different vibe.
So potty breaks and a better vibe.
Yes.
And then what don't you like about being on this truck?
It's not that I don't like it, it's I have to get used to it, and it's that sleep and when you're bouncing. That's the only thing.
When I'm driving?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, that's the only thing that it's just hard to get used to.
Yeah. So last night what we did is we both drove yesterday. I drove overnight, and then Connie drove during the day, but then we stopped at a rest area in Oklahoma, and instead of me taking over and driving overnight, we kind of stuck around for probably about 8 hours, and we both slept. without the truck moving. So I felt a lot better when I woke up this morning. And then Connie slept for I don't even know. I thought she might have been dead, but I was like, what can I do? I'm out here in the middle of the Texas Panhandle. I'll just get to Amarillo and see if she's still alive. I mean, she was out.
I was out.
So, and not to blow my own horn, I just like to be efficient. I slept on the top bunk last night because I knew I would get up earlier and start driving. So, and it's fine because I can sleep almost anywhere. So, all right, well, I mean, obviously, I'm glad to have you. It's nice to have a student who wants to learn and kind of pays attention. And you know, Connie's getting some backing practice. We've been lucky, though, a couple of times. Like, she backed into a dock, but there were openings on on both sides. But, you know, that's okay because sometimes that's a little bit harder when you don't have a narrow target area.
Yeah, because that's what I have a problem with. The first time I backed is like, where do I get that?
Right. She was, yeah, and it was at night, so I was standing right on the line that she needed to come to, but I don't think she realized why I was standing in that one spot. So, but that's a little communication part that we got fixed, and yeah, it worked out pretty good. And then yesterday, and then that same night, she backed into a spot between two other trucks that are just at this Wawa in Pennsylvania. But again, it's just good practice. And then yesterday you backed in, you did a back in a tight, the area to work with was a little bit tight at that pilot that we stopped at to get showers. But yeah, she got it in there pretty good, and I told her how to set up. And then afterwards, I kind of explained why I wanted her to set up in the middle of the lane instead of I made her set up at a sharper angle to get into that parking spot. But I did it so her front end would clear because there wasn't a huge gap between the rows of trucks. So, yeah, I think we're learning. So we're going to Southern California, but, you know, there's big winter weather forecast for like Colorado, Utah, Wyoming, Nevada over the next couple of days. So I don't know what kind of load. We're supposed to deliver on Tuesday, but we're kind of running ahead of schedule. So we might see if we can deliver a little bit early, either earlier Tuesday or maybe even Monday night. So we'll be keeping an eye on the weather. And I don't know, any other thoughts?
Stay safe.
Stay safe. That's good advice. All right. So thanks for watching. We'll keep you updated on our progress and how the training's going. And yeah, we'll catch you next time on Tim Travels. Bye.